now let's try to do this in real space. So the new method I am going to describe now is called finite difference. So we will discretize in both real and time. So in fact I have done the work here. So this is my 0, this is my L, right? So same equation, let's just focus on the same equation, and I have discretized it. So let's convert this equation in finite difference form. So let's write it here. So the simplest scheme is, I will do this by central difference scheme, double derivative. So I will label them as I minus 1, I plus 1. So partial derivative at point I, this point, psi I. Now also I have the time index. So let's say I am doing it time t. So this is my variable at n. Okay, this is time. Remember I had put a label, this is for time index. Okay, so what I am trying to do here is that I convert this to again ODEs, but value of the function at every time. So this is at time t. Let's just put time t. So this becomes ODE. I focus on this point at time t. So I need to compute this right hand side double derivative with the values of the function at time t. So it will be alpha. So what is the double derivative by time by finite difference? So psi I plus 1 minus 2 psi I plus psi I minus 1 by a squared. Okay, so this is my double derivative. So what have I done? I got ODEs. How many ODEs have I got? Equal to the number of points. So so this is, let's say there are n points, but you have to be careful. Now should I time step the function here and here? Should I time step it or not? What is the value of the function at those walls? 0. So I should not time step the boundary values. So these two, I don't want to time step value of the function here and here because they are zeros. So these are the boundary conditions. Psi at 0, psi at L, boundary. So don't time step. So don't write equation for that, but write equation for everything else. Okay. Now how do I time step this? Usual technique. So psi I at n plus 1 equal to psi I at n plus delta t times this. Okay, Euler explicit. So plus, actually there is a minus sign, no, this is a plus sign, plus alpha by s squared delta t. Now these are computed at time t. So it should be psi I n plus 1 2 psi I not n. Okay. Now in principle I have solved the problem. I had to just put in a computer and solve it. Right? I mean, you have to just, instead of one ODE you have to solve ODEs for all the points except the boundaries. So this is a finite difference. Now what should be my delta t and what should be my delta x? So my spectral method gives you some prescription about delta t. So something should happen here as well, right? I mean, you can't, one method says something, other method, some reflection should be appearing in the other, in the method 2 as well. Okay, so to figure it out, let's try to put some trial solution. So trial solution is, I am going to try psi of x t. So I am going to infinite, I will put in this equation f t. So this is to test stability. Okay, so this is a standard technique. So I am going to put this amplitude, will it grow in time or will it sink in time or will it decrease in time? So I need to try this and I am going to plug it in here. Okay, so I hope there is enough space. So let us just plug it in here. So the time derivative will act only on this. So df by dt e to the power I kx. Okay, so this is, in fact, by the way, this is a general technique. So you have to, for stability in finite difference scheme, this is what we try. I am trying to check the stability test. Okay, so let's just plug that in here. So you do I kx df by dt equal to right hand side alpha by h squared. Now f will come out from this expression. Now these guys will be appearing here. So f is coming out. Now what will I get here? I get e to the power I k x plus h. So this psi I plus 1, this point. So this is h, this is x. Okay, so this is fi plus 1. If you are confused, please let me know right away. This fine? Minus 2, I am going to put this here, I minus 1 fi kx minus h minus 2 I. So let's take it to the I kx common, both sides, and that cancels. So df by dt is alpha by h squared. Now this is going to be 2 cos x, 2 cos h. So you got e to I kh plus e to the power minus I kh. So that is 2 cos kh minus 2. So e to the power I kx got cancelled and there is a f here. So df by dt looks like this. So convert it to ODEs, that's, and we know how to solve ODEs. Now does it tell you something about the stability now? df by dt is this equation. So what's the bound on this? So this can become 2, right? Max is 2. So max is 2. So I get 4 alpha by h squared. So this is bounded. Bounded. Okay, so make it minus 1, then you get minus 2. Okay, so this is the modulus mod of this is max is 2. So for this case, stability. So d by dt of this one. So this will tell you that Euler first order, Euler explicit, Euler is always first order, but Euler explicit will be fn plus 1 equal to fn 1 minus 4 alpha. Okay, so for this to be stable, when is it stable? I want this condition to be less than 1, order 1. If it is bigger than 1, then this all hell will break loose. Okay, so this quantity must be less than 1, so that delta t. So delta t must be less s squared by 4 alpha. Okay, so the constants are different. S squared by alpha is common, but here I get 4 by pi squared and here I get 1 by 4. So for finite difference, this analysis will tell you that system is stable when my delta t is less than this. So given alpha and h, I can estimate what is my delta t min, and whatever you get from estimate, you decrease it even further down by factor, maybe for you I would say factor 10, just bring it down by factor 10 or at least factor 5. Now there are theories which is a good number. I mean, will it equal to enough, good enough, or I should divide by factor at some factor, factor 2, factor 4. Okay, but for this course I will not dig into it. We just say that this number by 10. Okay, it may be too tiny, but it's okay. I mean, so your delta t must be this divided by factor 10. So this is a stability condition. We need to do it for this scheme, Euler scheme. I would not, okay, no, so I will not recommend that you use this scheme. I would say that you use Runge-Kutta second order. So we want to solve this equation, so I can use Runge-Kutta 2. There are complicated issues which I, okay, let's first do Runge-Kutta second order, then I will also tell you that you can do some more clever ways. Actually, it turns out this system, okay, let's do some more stuff, then I will get back to finer details a bit more. So how will you solve this Runge-Kutta second order, this scheme, this equation? So I converted it to this equation. So what is the Runge-Kutta second order? So psi I at mid, so n plus half will be psi I n plus alpha by s squared, all that at n. So this will give you the mid value, delta t by 2. So I go to the midpoint. So in function of time, I take this, I just focus on this one, and I go to the midpoint in time. So I'm supposed to go to in time here, delta t, but I go to this value. Then I say, well, I will now take the final step, psi I n plus 1 is psi I n plus delta t alpha by h. So I have these values now, psi i's, the midpoint. So I should use them and compute the second derivative. So don't take this second derivative, but compute the second derivative from here, which will be psi I plus 1 n plus half okay. So this second Runge-Kutta second order, yeah. Which this one? Yes. Okay, so put a minus, fine, that's okay. So for large enough delta t, these things, as soon as it becomes negative, like what I argued there, the problem comes. So that tells you the condition for delta t, precisely the same way. Okay. So diffusion equation you have to solve by Runge-Kutta second order, you will be reasonably safe. Again delta t, you just follow that criteria. Even for Runge-Kutta second order, just use that criteria. You can do better, but it's safe. Okay. Now what is the time accuracy for Euler scheme? This scheme. So time accuracy will be delta t squared here. Because this first order in time, this is delta t. So error is of the order of delta t squared. Error per step, error delta t squared, and here delta error is delta t cube. So this is what we did before. So Euler scheme, error is delta t squared, and Runge-Kutta is second order accurate, so error is delta t cube. So here the equation was a diffusion equation. We needed to worry about stability as well as accuracy. Okay, stability is critical. So what we studied for differential equation ODEs, we need to worry about it for PDEs as well.